You ask what the point is. Why go on? What does it all mean? There's no greater philosophical riddle than this. No question more quietly present in the minds of modern men and women than the one Albert Camus made central to all of his work. Should I kill myself, or should I have a coffee? This wasn't sarcasm. It wasn't melodrama. For Camus, it was the only serious question left in philosophy: how to live in a world that appears cold, indifferent, and void of higher meaning, without falling into despair or deception. Born into poverty, scarred by war, and haunted by the absurdity of existence, Camus did not give in. He wrote, he resisted. He laughed, and in doing so, he gave us a philosophy not of death, but of life, a defiant, lucid affirmation of living fully without illusions. Albert Camus was born in 1913 in French-colonized Algeria. His father died in World War I when Camus was just a baby. His mother, nearly deaf and illiterate, raised him and his brother in a poor neighborhood of Algiers. Camus would later say he owed everything to poverty and the light. The intense Algerian sun, the sea, the silence of his mother. These sensory realities formed the foundation of his thought. As a young man, Camus studied philosophy, but was blocked from pursuing an academic career due to tuberculosis, a disease that would haunt his life but never define it. Instead, he turned to writing and journalism. His early essays revealed a mind shaped not only by abstract theory, but by the textures of real life, of sunlight, sand, and suffering. It was in his 20s, while Europe careened toward war and fascism rose like smoke, that Camus began to articulate his central idea, the absurd. The absurd, in Camus' sense, is the conflict between our hunger for meaning and the silent indifference of the universe. We crave answers. We want life to make sense. But the world offers none. And so we are left staring into the void, asking questions that echo back without reply. Most people, Camus said, respond to this absurdity by escaping it. Some turn to religion, choosing faith over facts. Others turn to ideology, clinging to systems that promise utopia. But for Camus, these are forms of philosophical suicide. They offer comfort, not truth. Instead, he proposed a radical third way. Live with the absurd. Do not deny it, do not flee it, stare it down and keep going. To live absurdly is to live honestly. It means building meaning not from on high, but from the ground up. Sunset, a smile, a rebellion, a kiss. These are enough. Camus' 1942 work, The Myth of Sisyphus, became the manifesto of this worldview. In it, he reimagined the Greek myth of Sisyphus, condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity, only for it to roll back down each time. For Camus, this was the perfect image of the human condition. Repetitive, futile, absurd, and yet we must imagine Sisyphus happy. Why? Because he knows the truth. There is no hope for escape, and therefore no reason to pretend. His freedom lies in his refusal to be broken. The struggle itself is enough to fill a man's heart. This was not empty stoicism. It was passionate and clear. Camus loved life. He loved football, women, jazz, and Mediterranean afternoons. His works like The Stranger, The Plague, The Rebel are suffused with a strange warmth beneath their existential chill. They are not cold indictments of life, but defiant celebrations of it, against all odds. When the Nazis occupied France, Camus joined the resistance. He risked his life writing for the underground newspaper Combat. For him, philosophy wasn't a luxury, it was a duty. Thinking clearly meant acting courageously. The absurd was not a reason to give up, but to rise up. In 1957, at the age of 44, Camus won the Nobel Prize in Literature. Just 3 years later, he died in a car crash. In the wreck, a manuscript was found, which was the beginnings of a novel titled The First Man, an autobiographical return to his childhood and a meditation on his mother. Even in death, Camus left us with a final image of a life not completed, but interrupted, story not closed, but broken open. Like Sisyphus, he had more pushing to do. Camus didn't offer us salvation, he offered something better, a way to live in truth. In his words, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Not bad for a man who started with nothing except the light.